Sioux Falls, don't mind me passing through, because Sioux Falls, I'm very much seen, I'm very much heard. But Sioux Falls, it'll fall. What I'm saying, what I'm proclaiming, what I'm consistently proclaiming, Sioux Falls, will fall on deaf ears. It'll fall on faint deaf ears, Sioux Falls. The thing is, what I'm saying, Sioux Falls, and you can recognize this, is that we perceive what is Sioux Falls. We perceive what is. We know we're created. We recognize the truth, family, when we hear it. So when we, and the truth, family, the word that we have from God, from our God, family, when we hear it, family, we recognize revelation from Him, knowledge from Him, Sioux Falls. What is it? You see, so I'm consistently out here, Sioux Falls, because it seems like there's a lack of presence of what actually is Sioux Falls. Because it says that He is not in a temple built by human hands. Yeah, you see brothers and sisters trying to compartmentalize Him, Sioux Falls. You see brothers and sisters, apparently how they operate, how they try to handle the truth is that it's some kind of Sunday thing. It's some kind of building thing, Sioux Falls. But you see, I know what it actually is. I know what it actually is, Sioux Falls. Is that it's all of us, Sioux Falls. It's all of us, and He sees us. He sees our minds and our hearts. Sioux Falls. He sees the righteous and the wicked. And He's seen us going back, Sioux Falls. But the thing is, we have a choice of Him. Sioux Falls, it says, for the message of the cross is foolishness to those that are perishing, but unto us which are saved, it is the power of God. You see, I can't transfer to you what I've seen. Family, I cannot transfer to you what I've experienced. Brothers and sisters, it's all of us though. And I'm telling you, all that's required is that we simply make the choice to move to Him. We simply make the choice to move to Him, Sioux Falls. You see, I'll tell you too what's inside of us. We do recognize Him. We do recognize Him. We recognize the truth, family. You see, the revelation from God, knowledge of God, family, we recognize when we see it's different, Sioux Falls. And you see that He's the only thing that answers His place too. You see that He is the only thing that answers His place. But the thing is, Sioux Falls, so I'm just telling you that we have valid interaction. You see, society's not going to lead you. Society's not going to lead you to Him, Sioux Falls. Society's not going to lead you to our God. But you see what's taking place. What you don't make out, Sioux Falls. What's inside of all of us is that truly, Sioux Falls, we are making our decision. We are deciding what we want. You can make out how it's kind of silly, Sioux Falls, how we build up these things. You know what I'm saying? And everything we're fully vested in this place. But Sioux Falls, tell me how it is so plain to observe, like you stumble over it. It's so present. Sioux Falls, is that this is not our home. And we are mind like our God is mind. How do you figure that He wouldn't give us the truth? The thing is, Sioux Falls, I'm just here to tell you, brothers and sisters, like, wake up. Why are we not pursuing our God? Why are we not walking under our God? His family, He's not in a temple built by human hands. You're probably not going to find Him there. Okay, we have very plain text. Not going to go to the wise man. You're going to open a plain text because you actually desire our God, Sioux Falls. Because He sees our minds and our hearts. So what do? You actually desire our God. You start walking under Him. He sees us. He sees us, Sioux Falls. Look, it says, for I am unashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God unto salvation for those of us that believe, Sioux Falls. You can make sense of this, Sioux Falls. Quite simply, it's a choice of our God. Jesus Christ is the choice of our God. He was the entity that was with God before creation was. Sioux Falls. He was Lord anyways. Look, our Savior was Lord anyways, Sioux Falls. And then he came and lived the life of Lord. And the thing is, Sioux Falls, what makes it valid, what makes it valid, family, valid interaction, is that we perceive, we recognize the truth, family. We recognize the truth. Sioux Falls. So, what do we do when we recognize the truth? We have a choice of it. Sioux Falls, that's what it is. You have everything else that's here. We were people that walked under our God. We were people that walked under our God, Sioux Falls. And he saw our minds and our hearts. But Jesus Christ has since came, Sioux Falls. The thing is, we recognize what is. So we decide what we want. Sioux Falls, I'm not so sure that I'm according with normalcy being out here, but I'm surely proclaiming the truth, Sioux Falls. I'm not found, look, I'm not in a church building waiting for my brothers and sisters to come to me. I'm out here telling you to wake up, Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls, brothers and sisters, I'm telling you to wake up. You see, God gave us the truth. God gave us a truth, Sioux Falls. Our God gave us, He gave us the word, Sioux Falls. He gave us, the word is revelation of God, knowledge of God, revelation from God. So Sioux Falls, you can work out. He gave us the truth. We recognize, we perceive what is Sioux Falls. We have a choice of it. See, Sioux Falls, it says, if you confess with your mouth that Jesus Christ is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, then you will be saved. Sioux Falls, it says, if you hear Jesus' word and believe in God who sent him, then you have everlasting life. And you will not face judgment, but have passed from death to life. Sioux Falls, it says, if you draw near unto God, then he will draw near unto you. He says, our Father is not willing that any should perish, Sioux Falls. He is not willing that any should perish, but that all come to repentance. Sioux Falls, what you observe is that people are actively working on separation from our God. And how that works, family, how that works is that we just don't have a desire of him, and we don't even have the desire to come to him, Sioux Falls. Don't have the desire to pursue him, to look, because everything is there to see, Sioux Falls. You see, we hold ourselves in ignorance. You see, we say, look at all the other things. We say, look, he is not. But the thing is, Sioux Falls, everything is clear. Like science is even coming to how it's impossible that he is not, Sioux Falls. So the thing is, Sioux Falls, plainly, we just decide what we want. The only thing that matters, Sioux Falls, is that we have a choice of the truth. We realize ourselves, family, we are this awful, peculiar thing. We're human beings, Sioux Falls. We're minds and emotion. We are everything that we are. We are everything that we are, Sioux Falls. And we come here and we realize ourselves, Sioux Falls, in the midst of everything, right? Everything that is nothing. Everything that is set to pass. Just like this place is built to pass, Sioux Falls. But we know that our God is Sioux Falls. And we decide if we want him. That's why I'm out here. Sioux Falls, I don't want to be out here if I'm alone. You're like, man, this man's walking by himself. There's nobody behind him. Surely, nobody behind him. But, Sioux Falls, I know I have relation with our God. And yes, he sees the righteous and the wicked, Sioux Falls. But there's a difference between him seeing us and us actually walking under him. And they're like, he's distant. I go there when, I go to him when I want something. But the thing is, he gave us everything that perpetuates us. Anything that's worthwhile, well, pretty much everything he gave us. But you see, So I really can't work out how my brothers and sisters aren't pursuing a relationship with him, don't want him. But I guess that makes sense why I'm out here too. You see, Sioux Falls, it says, if you confess with your mouth that Jesus Christ is Lord, and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, then you will be saved. Sioux Falls, you can look far and wide, you can look under the rocks, and you won't find another thing here, Sioux Falls. It's funny how there's one truth, Sioux Falls. It's funny how he came when he did, how he did. You know, almost like that's the way it has to be here, like per reality. But the thing is, we have record, and it meets our hearts. It's inbuilt that we recognize the truth, Sioux Falls. So we're without excuse. You see, family, all of us, none of us are special. All of us are special, but none of us are special, Sioux Falls. You see, we have a little bit in our heart that perceives what is. First, we know we're created. Everybody displaces wherever. You know, those eloquent speaking, naturalistic professors, they displace their Sioux Falls. What's underlying, overarching, what's underlying Sioux Falls is that we all perceive what is. We all perceive what is Sioux Falls. We know that we are created, Sioux Falls, and we perceive the truth. So that's what I'm out here with, Sioux Falls. You have sensitivity. You recognize that Jesus Christ is Sioux Falls. So you have a choice of him. You have valid interaction, and you decide what you want. I challenge you, Sioux Falls, to take things seriously and ask yourself, you know, what matters? Well, if we're created, I don't know what we have without our God. So do you have enough desire of him in you to even pursue him? Like right now in your car. Like start, you know, pursue him. If you pursue him with your pure heart, then you will see him, family. You see, we have to decide what we want though. You see, I can't work out anything that's more important than our God, Sioux Falls. I cannot work out anything that's more important than our God. You see, Sioux Falls, it says repent and be baptized, everyone, in Jesus Christ's name for the remission of sins. Don't think I'm coming out here as some holy character, Sioux Falls. You know, in a flowing robe, you know, waiting for you to come to me and confess, Sioux Falls. Last time I checked, we're all in the same boat, Sioux Falls. Last time I checked, there's one mediator, and that's Jesus Christ. Last time I checked, Sioux Falls, we all like sheep have gone astray. There's none righteous, Sioux Falls, not one. Sioux Falls, it says, if you confess with your mouth that Jesus Christ is the Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, then you will be saved. I'm simply out here. You know, when I'm moving through, when I'm proclaiming what I am, Sioux Falls, what I am saying, Sioux Falls, I'm just calling what is. First, I'm calling that there is a truth. Next, with that, Sioux Falls, I'm calling that we do perceive the truth, that we are without excuse. Family, it's, what is it? We have no excuse of ignorance, Sioux Falls. We perceive what is. We know that we're created. We know that we're created and we recognize the truth. And in fact, it's the only thing that answers the place, Sioux Falls. You know, I get weak. You know, but I can still move, Sioux Falls. I can still cry out. And you won't see surface evidence of, you know, the effect of me being out here, Sioux Falls. With this, I'm surely not treating the truth, you know, how we're here, like everything else. You see, I'm simply pulling out of what is internal caps, Sioux Falls. What is internal reality? I'm like, hey, our hearts know what is. So don't look around and try to derive any comfort by brothers and sisters that just don't take things seriously, Sioux Falls. I'll tell you what's very base is that we are created. I'll tell you what's very base, Sioux Falls, is that we are without excuse. So Sioux Falls, we interact, we decide what we want. We're not these pretty things, Sioux Falls. We are not these vessels. Sioux Falls, we're our decisions, we are our actions. It says that every knee will bow, every tongue will confess. Sioux Falls, we will meet him. So Sioux Falls, what is this? Is it about our circles? Is it about our things that we're building? Sioux Falls, this whole place is going to pass. This is a medium, Sioux Falls. We decide what we want. You know, I come as a brother, as a servant, that's trying to move my brothers and sisters to simply take that step. Sioux Falls, to take that step and come to Him. There's nothing more than our God, Sioux Falls. There's nothing more than our God. It says, if you hear His word, Sioux Falls, if you hear Jesus' word and believe in God who sent Him, then you will have everlasting life, Sioux Falls. And you will not face judgment, but you have passed from death to life. Sioux Falls, it says, unless we repent, we all likewise shall perish, Sioux Falls. The thing is though, it's a matter of His love. It's a matter of relation with Him. That's what it is, Sioux Falls. That's why I walk under our God, Sioux Falls, because of His love. It's because He is love, Sioux Falls. There's nothing more than our God. There's nothing more than our God.
Dude, today's like, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I'm kind of neutral with what you're saying, but like, I'm a very Christian kind of guy, okay?
We gotta keep moving, brother. We gotta keep moving.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, dude, it's Halloween. You should like, don't terrorize the children with Christianity while we're
Sioux Falls. So a brother approached me and he said that I'm terrorizing young ones. The last time I checked, Sioux Falls, we're all same created, Sioux Falls. The little ones are created. You know what's the deepest wrong, family, is starving a little one of what is Sioux Falls. Because last time I checked, we're all created. Last time I checked, the very love that we have is from Him. The very capacity to love. So we're gonna try to take that away from, let alone like anyone, or anyone, but let alone a young one, right? You know, run from our God that has perfect love for us. You know, Sioux Falls, last time I checked, there's nothing more. Pretty much, He is everything, Sioux Falls. Pretty much, He is everything. And last time I checked, Sioux Falls, there's nothing more than Him. If we are created, we do not have anything without Him. And Sioux Falls, I don't think that we see with clarity. I don't think that we're willing to draw back for a moment and just observe what is. You know, maybe we like to say that the painting painted itself. Maybe we like to call everything intermixed the truth. Maybe we do like to call the God that loves us with perfect love, gave us everything that even perpetuates us, family, gives us, you know, anything to move, keep moving with, you know, the good created things of here, Sioux Falls. Look, the thing is, so I'm out here for our God, Sioux Falls, because I call truth reality. I call reality truth, family, the truth that we have, the truth that was moved to be produced and was given us, Sioux Falls. But I shouldn't be out here with that. You see, we should, I should withdraw. I should withhold that because I have relation with our God. You see, and what is that, Sioux Falls? I have relation with our God, but I shouldn't desire that from my brothers and sisters. I shouldn't desire that. I shouldn't desire that even for the little ones, Sioux Falls, because what is required? Childlike faith. You see, you're created, right? Sioux Falls, you're created, right? So Sioux Falls, okay, just draw back for a second. I'll ask you to ask yourself, Sioux Falls, what matters? So I'm telling you, Sioux Falls, that what you have an inkling with, Sioux Falls, it is valid. You see that He is. But maybe I should just, not make a point of what I observe, Sioux Falls. You know, society not taking things seriously. You know, society not taking things seriously. Brothers and sisters not taking things seriously. Because, family, it is so plain to observe that this is not our home. It is so plain to observe, Sioux Falls, that we are created. In Sioux Falls, there can be a truth, there is a truth, and Jesus Christ is. You see, if you have desire to look close enough, family, you'll see that everything else is not, and that He is. He's the only thing that answers His place, Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls, it says, enter through the narrow gate, because wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leads to destruction. You'll see, many people try to stop me, Sioux Falls. Okay? But you look at ulterior motives, Sioux Falls, because it is so plain. Look, we're created, so I'm out here for our God. I'm out here for our truth, Sioux Falls. You can't put together anything, Sioux Falls. Approach me with something. What do you have to say to me, Sioux Falls? This is our truth. This is us. So when we're honest, Sioux Falls, otherwise I don't think we have much to talk about. Sioux Falls, it says, enter through the narrow gate, because wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leads to destruction. Many enter through it, Sioux Falls. What is it? Jesus Christ said that He is the way, the truth, and life, and that any enter through Him. Sioux Falls, it says that He is the gate, and if any enter through Him, they will come in, and they will go out, and they will find pasture, Sioux Falls. He came that we may have life and have it in abundance. Sioux Falls, He did everything for us, and He just wills that we come to Him. You see, you know, we have long history. We have record of history that, you know, testifies to our backwards, Sioux Falls. But look, this man's going to be ostracized because he's out here with the truth of existence, because he's fighting for his brothers and sisters in the realest way. Yeah, you won't find anybody behind him. You won't find anybody behind him, Sioux Falls. But I'm pretty sure that I'm seeing Sioux Falls. You see, people will run away from the truth, Sioux Falls. People, Sioux Falls, people will run away from the truth. Looks like they're making a decision then, Sioux Falls. The thing is, they'll even call good bad and bad good. Looks like we're making a decision then, Sioux Falls. You see, Sioux Falls, it says the message of the cross is foolishness to those that are perishing, but unto us which are saved is the power of God. Sioux Falls, all I'm saying is that our God loves you. It says that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Sioux Falls, it's not a matter of us being any, in any state to come to Him. It's just making a choice to Him. And you'll see how we are changed. But you see, Sioux Falls, you see, we don't even have a desire to come to Him. We don't even have a desire to come to Him. Look, Sioux Falls, that's the matter. You see, I've been out here, Sioux Falls, and you can hardly find a sliver of normalcy in what I'm doing. Then you gotta consider if that prognosis is correct, Sioux Falls. If that evaluation is correct. Okay, there's no normalcy in what I'm doing. Well, is that correct? Because last time I checked, family, we're here by God. We're here by God. So if it's not normal to revere Him and to represent Him and try to move brothers and sisters to start walking under Him, and make a choice of Him, if that's not normal, Sioux Falls, then maybe we have to check our state, Sioux Falls. Check how we are. If it's not normal to to walk under our God, family, that gave us our very life. If it is not normal to walk under our God, Sioux Falls, then maybe we have to turn and look at ourselves, Sioux Falls. Because what is it? It's surely not the perfect person that stays in the building, family, and waits for you to come and confess, Sioux Falls. Last time I checked, it's the person that steps outside of the building and comes and struggles with you. That's what's really real, Sioux Falls. It's that we're all the same created. We all have a decision of our God, Sioux Falls. You see, Sioux Falls, it is that the message of the cross is foolishness to those that are perishing, but unto us which are saved is the power of God. It says, Sioux Falls, that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. This is God's love, Sioux Falls. It's not a matter of us being deserving of anything. I'll tell you how I am so far removed from that. I can tell you all about my past, Sioux Falls. There's nothing to maintain. I'm simply worried about my brothers and sisters that aren't taking things seriously enough to even come to their God. But you see, society, it's moving like 100 miles an hour. If you squint, then you put together that we're actually going somewhere. That we're actually doing something, right? The collective, we got something in the works. Sioux Falls, you just don't see it. You see, there's like a thousand problems right over there, that away, Sioux Falls. But you see, and society doesn't even acknowledge its own God, but society has it together. Society, you only have to look at its history, go back like this far to see how backwards it is, but society has it together. You see, Sioux Falls, this crazy cat is just someone that has a relation with our God and decided to find my backbone and stash me, okay, and to actually come out here and fight for our God and fight for our brothers and sisters. Does that make sense, Sioux Falls? Is it not evident, Sioux Falls? With this, you're not going to probably find him. He's not in a temple built by human hands. Sioux Falls, he's very much with us. He very much loves us, Sioux Falls. Our God has perfect love for us, and he only desires that we come to him. Look, he only desires that we come to him. But you see, brothers and sisters will reject him. You see, the one that has perfect love for them. And how does that work out, Sioux Falls? You don't have hope if you don't have Jesus Christ, family. You do not have a hope if you don't have Jesus Christ, family. Like, not a hope. And family, be honest with yourself. You know that. The thing is, Sioux Falls, it says enter through the narrow gate, because wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction. Sioux Falls, what you observe is just brothers and sisters going on about their business, full clarity in their heart, full sensitivity, inbuilt, family, we know what it is. But, so we know that we're created, but we do not have a desire of our Creator. And how perfect is it, family, when God is not here, we can't see God, God is spirit, but he's just beyond sight. And we see him in a different way, Sioux Falls. We see our God in a different way. So, what's overarching, Sioux Falls, is that we perceive what is. So I'm stepping out. First, I'm saying that there can be a truth. There is a truth. And second, family, that we perceive it. But this, though, I'm not going to hold you in ignorance. I'm just challenging you to take things seriously and actually start pursuing your God. Because, family, it's inbuilt. I've looked far and wide. It's inbuilt. Everything else is not. Jesus Christ is the only thing that answers this place, Sioux Falls. Jesus Christ is the only thing that answers this place. So what do we want, Sioux Falls? What do we want? What do we want? Hey, do what you want the messenger, Sioux Falls. Last time I checked, I'm just calling what is. To the one that has went calendar years not having a desire of our God. To the little one that actually believes correctly. It says believe with childlike faith. Now with the stack of facts, now with the philosophy, pretty much you just come to God. Because you know that he is. Because the effective thing, Sioux Falls, is that we have inbuilt awareness. You see, I had a very confused character come up to me not too long ago. He said, stop terrorizing the kids. The last time I checked, family, I'm fighting for the kids in the realest way. You see, the cowards, Sioux Falls, are indoctrinating them on 365 days a year. So I'm out here for as long as I'm out here in Sioux Falls, telling them the very truth of the perfect God that loves them with perfect love. Family, and I'm doing that consistently. Sioux Falls, so what are we doing? Sioux Falls, I said, Sioux Falls, that's enter through the narrow gate because wide is gate. It broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many enter through it, Sioux Falls. You see, I see past this place. Oh, but you're gonna bring up oh, humanity. Oh, we're going to Mars then. We're pretty much never gonna surpass our 120 year span that we have here. And this place is going, a layperson can deduce that. But the thing is, we are God created, we know it. That's the takeaway, Sioux Falls, is that we have a choice of our God. So I'm passing through a very efficacious, very, very effective Sioux Falls, because you're considering what is Sioux Falls. You're deciding what you want. Our God has perfect love for us, and He only desires that we come to Him. You realize who Jesus Christ is, family. He did everything. So pretty much just a choice. Do I want to come to God in the free gift? But the thing is, Sioux Falls, that's not what we want. That's not what we want, Sioux Falls. And the thing is, how do we come to our God, Sioux Falls? How do we come to our God? We just come to Him, Sioux Falls. Because He sees our minds and our hearts. So with that awareness, Sioux Falls, just walk under Him. Just pursue Him. Just pick up the word that is from Him. Look, nobody can tell you anything, Sioux Falls. We're all the same created. Like a real Christian, Sioux Falls, will just be like, just hold out a hand and just be like, Sioux Falls, if you want Him, just come. Everything is there to be seen. Look, our God sees us. We just have to come to Him. But the thing is, brothers and sisters, same created brothers and sisters, they will come and they will say, nah. But then, Sioux Falls, there's not much to talk about. Because what I'm telling you, Sioux Falls, is we perceive what is. Sioux Falls, so what is there to say past that? If there's rejection, family, then that's choice. And then when there's choice, Sioux Falls, there's nothing more. I'm merely out here, Sioux Falls, first to call that there is, to call the truth. But wait, why do you do that when it's perceived? Why do you need to do what you do if the truth is so readily perceived? Family, I'm just calling that. I'm just calling, family, that there is no excuse of ignorance. I'm trying to withdraw my brothers and sisters lying to themselves. I'm like, Sioux Falls, wait a second. First, you follow society. Sioux Falls, you follow society. And first, Sioux Falls, false, wise intellectual society that doesn't acknowledge its own God. You do that, Sioux Falls. You do that. But with that, Sioux Falls, first, we don't leave this place holding hands, Sioux Falls. Second, Sioux Falls, what really is taking place is we're making a choice of Him. We know that He is, we have a choice of Him, Sioux Falls. So what is this? Sioux Falls, all I'm doing is calling what is. I know I'm sore, I'm outlandish. I'm sorely, stand out, Sioux Falls. But the thing is, Sioux Falls, I'm merely calling what is. That's very consistently. You see, there's not much normalcy in this, but maybe that's problematic, Sioux Falls. Maybe that's part of the reason why I'm out here. In fact, that's directly related to why I'm out here, Sioux Falls. Because Sioux Falls society doesn't even acknowledge its own God. Society does not even acknowledge its own God. Sioux Falls, society does not even acknowledge its own God. So Sioux Falls, it says, enter through the narrow gate because wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction. It says that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and life. Look, and it says that the only way to the Father is through the Son. Sioux Falls. It says, Sioux Falls, it says that we all like sheep have gone astray. Sioux Falls, it says that, and while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. It says, look, she loves much because she was forgiven much. Or she loves much as her. She is forgiven much as her much love shows Sioux Falls. And the one that is forgiven little loves little. There's an instance, Sioux Falls, of a sister, and what is it? She's forgiven much as her much love shows. And the one that is forgiven little loves little, Sioux Falls. So it looks like every single one of us, Sioux Falls, every last one of us, just all that's remaining, it's not a matter of one of us aligning or not aligning, Sioux Falls. It's just a matter of us having a desire of our God. That's what I'm out here calling, Sioux Falls. That's what I'm out here calling. Is that it's not a matter of any of us, look, aligning with the truth. Because last time I checked, we're all the same created. Last time I checked, Sioux Falls, every single last one of us is the same created. So Sioux Falls, what remains? There's an instance of a sister, and he said, look, she's forgiven much as her much love shows. And the one that's forgiven little loves little. So what's the matter, Sioux Falls? It's not a matter of what we've done, of what our past looks like. It's a matter of desiring our God right now. It's a matter of desiring our God right now. And you're like, leave me alone for a number of calendar years. You know, I'll keep not having desire of our God, Sioux Falls. You see, I'm out here, Sioux Falls. I don't have to work anything out because I can pick any time, Sioux Falls, to come out here, because it always makes sense, Sioux Falls, because this place is passing, this place is fleeting. You know, we white knuckle this place, Sioux Falls. This is all we have, right? This is all we have. This is all we see right now, Sioux Falls. But you see, that's written on our hearts. And that's what I'm out here to proclaim, Sioux Falls. That's what I'm out here to proclaim, is that we have everything written on our hearts. You have sensitivity. You know what is, Sioux Falls. So you take it from the minds that were, that were given by Him, and they put everything together that we now have record of, and that's what is going to guide us. Don't mind the truth that was given by our God, Sioux Falls. You see, that's what I'm telling you, Sioux Falls. I'm just saying, there's nobody with me. Surely, gauge society. There's surely nobody with me. But family, I've seen evidence that he sees me, Sioux Falls. But it's not me, it's us. Sioux Falls, from the one that has went calendar years not having a desire of our God, Sioux Falls, to the little one that believes correctly. The little one that believes correctly with childlike faith, Sioux Falls. Because it's not with stack of facts or philosophy, family. It's very much just coming to our God. It's plainly coming to Him where we are. And then having our walk under our God, Sioux Falls. So Sioux Falls, I'm just telling you that we have a choice to fill.